What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning. So come by and say hello. All right, guys. I'm starting to get a little ahead of myself here because as we hopefully turn the corner soon and get more information about Rebellion, the one thing that I am wondering in terms of what will sell packs the most is what this promo card is going to look like. Now, for those who might have forgotten, Dr. Blight was the initial promo card for the Chaos Legion core set when it came out. And then for context, we also had Oshur Constantia that was the promo card for Rift Watchers, which came out just a little bit over a year ago. So here's the thing. You got those two, right, as part of like the, I guess, lead airdrops or lead promo cards for pack sets. But we did get a wide variety of other types of promo cards all throughout. Now, Rooney was something where this was an initiative done through the Ethereum blockchain where you could go and have the PFPs over there, but you had a card in game. Lux Vega was part of the Splinter Fest kind of festivities and promo card there. Then you had Archimist the Bear, which was the end of year or beginning of year Winter Fest as they called it. And then Vruz was with the it was the SPS proposal that essentially the DAO kind of like commissioned the team to make. I guess the DAO didn't pay anybody, but that was part of what happened earlier this year. The last one was Zerial. This was in May. This is the first dual element card, both life and death. So lots of variety in the Chaos set. And keep in mind, we are now done with the Chaos set. Rebellion will be its own set, which will have its own potential like reward cards and mini sets and promo cards as well. So as we think through what would be the best, in my opinion, when you look at Dr. Blight, the reason he was so good is there's a couple reasons. And I'm going to say that as much as I don't necessarily want the team to copy Dr. Blight, copy and paste him for Rebellion, there are a couple of factors which I think give Dr. Blight just way too much power, at least in comparison to all of the other cards here. All right. So I'll list them out. 3. 1. He's neutral, meaning that he can be used in pretty much any game except for one specific rule set that says no neutral cards. Number 2, he is 4 mana, which means he fits in the Little League rule set, which actually comes up quite often and makes him a powerhouse in that rule set when you can only spend 4 mana, right? So usually what the maximum you can use is like 24, or I guess 28 mana with a summoner. But at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, he just dominates in a lot of these games, and I've used it to my advantage. Now, the last thing is probably something that I will say isn't necessary, but it just adds so much, and that's the fact that he is stacked with abilities. He has 5 total abilities when you max him out, and each of these is, I would say, very crucial to just show how powerful he is, especially at all the different levels. Now, I like to say that Dr. Blight is essentially broken starting from gold onwards, and that's when you get the scavenger ability. So he gains 1 max health every time creatures die, or every time a unit dies, which means that, he could be your last man standing, but have gained like, I don't know, anywhere from like, 9 or 10 health throughout the entire game. And it's perfect to use in like equalizer rule sets and all these other types of situations. So as we look forward to what Rebellion will offer in terms of a promo card that will incentivize sales, right? People will be looking at a card and they're just like, I need to have it. It's so freaking good, right? When you look at all these other cards, right? Oshur's cool, Rooney's cool, Archimist the Bear is cool, Vruz is cool. They all have their like, unique, very niche use cases, right? Like one thing about Oshur's dragon. So you can only use it when the dragon splinter is available, or dragon element is available. So the only other thing that I would kind of put on par with Dr. Blight is Lux Vega, but that's a summoner, so we can leave it aside. So as we look forward, I'm curious to know, and I'm going to open this to like a community brainstorming session, but I would say those first 2 items probably still need to be included. I think, whatever card it is has to be neutral so that it has a lot of versatility. It has to be 4 mana or less, which granted, there's a lot of higher mana games right now, but even still with those higher mana games, I find myself throwing in Dr. Blight because he's so powerful. So I would say that those first 2 are probably going to be crucial for me, because you want something that's going to be available in all different types of rule sets. And, Little League is just something that comes up a lot more than I think people realize. And then finally, and this is the one that's kind of open to interpretation, and I'm curious to get your thoughts on. I think he'll need to be stacked, or he, she, whatever it is, will need to be stacked with a bunch of abilities. Will it need to be 5 necessarily? Maybe not. Maybe you can get away with 4 abilities, because, at the end of the day, like, if I had to remove one from here, it would probably be Weaken, right? Weaken's great, but it doesn't add as much of an element the way that the others do, right? Affliction is something that is a game changer. Poison is something that's a game changer. Camouflage is a game changer in the sense that, this was one of the first times that camouflage was introduced as well. So people just couldn't target Dr. Blight even if they wanted to. And then, of course, Scavenger was what makes him broken in gold. So I would say that it would need to be, like I said, it would need to be at least 4 abilities, again, to go along with a neutral 4 mana or less card. But then that opens up, the thought of like, well, if we are having higher mana games, don't you want a card that can be higher mana? But again, I'm just trying to go with something that has had a ton of utility, and I would love to see something along those lines, just because, as I said, Dr. Blight wins me more games than I deserve to win. So at this point in time, looking forward, we don't know all the details about Rebellion. We don't know what kind of cards are going to be included, how the meta is going to change, how the new game mechanics that have been teased are going to impact everything. But if we're just looking at it, kind of apples to apples comparison with Chaos Agent, which it's not perfect, but if we were to get a new set in that way, I would want a card like Dr. Blight to have, or a future card to be similar to Dr. Blight, where you'd have a slew of abilities to go along with something that has the versatility of being 4 mana or less and neutral. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to know, for those of you who are planning to buy Rebellion packs, like, what is a card that would get you really excited? What type of card, or maybe if there's a new mechanic that you can even think of, what types of things would you like to see on this promo card that would say, you know what, I need to at least get X amount so that I can get the card at this level, right? And incentivize you to buy the card, to buy packs in the presale to get this card. Or even if you decide to wait out, what's the type of card where you're just like, you know what, that's going to be an awesome promo card. Maybe I'm not going to buy packs, but I'll buy it off the secondary market, and I'm going to buy it because it has XYZ. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.